Lemonade Life, and I'm really excited to have Kerrie Rycroft with me here today. And we're going to talk about how you, Kerrie, have got your Lemonade Life.
Awesome.
So I'm really pleased that you've agreed to do this. Now, particularly because even though online you come across as somebody who's very confident, I know that you're very much like me in that you have a tendency to hide rather than a tendency to put yourself out there.
Yeah, and by that you mean an absolute fear of video, yes?
Yeah, pretty much that, yeah.
Yeah, that works.
And you know, I get that. I know what it feels like because that's the kind of person I always was. And to then put myself out there, it's strange, isn't it? It's
a bit scary, but yeah. No.
But actually, nothing happens. Things don't explode. It's all right. But I think people will appreciate, because I know a lot of people who go through the whole thing of changing their life and creating a lemonade life, they are in that space as well. So I think people will really appreciate the fact that you're putting yourself out there today. So thank you. Really appreciate it. So my first question for you, what do you love about your life?
I love most about my life the fact that I've built my business and my lifestyle completely and utterly around my family. So I love the fact that I can get up in the morning, drop all 4 kids off at all their different schools, come back, spend a chunk of the day doing what I love best, helping people, talking to people, and then still have time to be able to go to assemblies, run and pick one of them up from school if they're ill, pack lunch boxes in if they've obviously forgotten something, because there's never a day that goes by when somebody doesn't forget something. And then I love the end part of my day when I can pick them up from school and be a proper mum and cook dinner with them and run them around to all their after school clubs and really spend quality time with them, rather than when I used to work in the city 9 to 5 and had nurseries and other people dropping them off and picking them up. Yeah, that's what I love most at the moment, is that I've built almost the perfect lifestyle for me. It suits me 100% to work my core hours during the day when they're at work, and then pick up anything that needs to be done in the evening after that.
Love it. So you have created the perfect lifestyle for yourself.
It's completely, it wouldn't be perfect for everybody, but it's completely perfect for me.
Yeah, I was one of those mums who I worked very long hours when my daughter was young, and I always say to people now, I have one regret in life, and that's not having been there for my daughter when she was younger.
Yeah, I did until I was pregnant with my 3rd child. I worked in the city, so I would get the train to their nursery and drop them off at nursery, then get the train into the city and do the same thing at the end of the day, but you miss so much time with them.
Yeah, you do. I think you're a hero. 4 kids as well. 4!
They're awesome. They are good kids.
Well, they'll be awesome because of how you're bringing them up, so well done. So
thank you.
That's what you love about your life. Talk to us about what you're proud of. What's your most proud thing in your life?
I think the thing that I'm most proud of is getting through the period a couple of years ago when in 2012 I lost my business and I left my husband, all within the space of about 2 months of each other.
Wow.
The business was a magazine publishing company. It was something that I started from scratch and built up over 5 years until it was turning over £1 million a year. We had magazines on sale in America, Australia, all over the place. But I made so many millions of mistakes while I was doing it that it fell apart, and I lost everything in May 2012. The process of losing it had been going on for about 2 years before, but kind of May was when it finally all gave up. And then I left my husband in August 2012. So for the next sort of year, I was on my own with 4 kids, no business, no self-confidence. I had severe online bullying through the loss of the business. I had death threats. I had people telling me that I was no good to be a mum, that I should just kill myself and get it over with, that I should never complain. I went out there and got jobs, which I then lost because my merry band of haters contacted the people that I was working for and said, do you know what she's done? Do you know about her past? So, yeah, that was a really, really tough year. I had no money at all in the world. I had to accept help from people for the first time. I'd never been very good at asking for help, but my mum and dad had to pay for food for the children. I've been to a food bank. I've had to go and ask for handouts from charities just because there was not enough money to put food on the table for the kids. Wow. And that was the most horrific year ever. And that's what I'm most proud of, that I got through it.
You survived it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that I didn't fall apart completely. I fell apart a lot, but I managed not to do it in front of the children.
Yeah.
I saved that for the weekends when they were with their dad. So that's what I'm most proud of, that I managed to get through that, and I managed to continue to bring up the kids and to be a good role model for them, and to put all of that behind me and to get to where I am now.
I am so impressed that you did get through that, particularly the cyberbullying, because I've experienced cyberbullying as well, and it's so destructive, isn't it?
It's horrific. It's still going on now. I mean, this is 4 years after the bullying started and 2.5 years after I lost the business, and it still goes on now.
Crazy.
But I've learned just to not worry about it.
Life's haters can teach us so much about ourselves, can't they?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, obviously, you've had lots of times where you feel as though you've had the sour and bitter bits of life. You feel as though you've had the lemons lobbed at you, not just thrown, but lobbed at you.
Yeah.
So, what is it that you do on those bad days, bad weeks? I mean, sometimes it can be just a bad hour, can't it? But what is it? What's your go-to that you do to make sure you're living that lemonade life in the moment?
Yeah, what I do now is if I have anything that triggers me, anything that, causes me to get frustrated or stressed out, I try and stop. As soon as I recognise the feelings of kind of overwhelm and, oh, this is all too much for me, I try and stop whatever I'm doing and go outside. It makes such a big difference for me. Just go for a walk, even just go and stand in the garden, just stop, take a deep breath, just be outside and just remember all the things that I've been through and all the things that I've got over, and just put into perspective that, yes, it's frustrating that I was in the middle of something and I've had to stop and go and do this and I'm, cross or whatever. But I've been through so much and there's so much good now compared to where I was 2 years ago, that just stopping and thinking and remembering and being grateful for what I have now makes all the difference.
And so that process of going outside, does that kind of ground you?
It does something. I don't know what it does, but I found that if I try and walk around the house, or if I go to another room, it doesn't make as much difference. And sometimes I can just walk down to the bottom of the garden and that's enough. Or I'll go for a walk around the block. Or I used to run, but I haven't really done that quite as much recently, but I used to find that running was very good for me.
Yeah.
Because I just put my shoes on and just go and run and count my footsteps and not think about anything other than how many more footsteps I need to do to get to the end of where I'm running. So being
that's
outside.
how I run. I run counting my breaths rather than my footsteps.
But it's a good way of doing it, isn't it? I don't listen to music or anything. I just find it distracts me and I just count.
Yeah. It's almost a form of meditation, isn't it, when you do it the way we do it?
Yeah. No, I think so. Do we get extra brownie points for that?
I think so. We'll give ourselves extra brownie points. It's interesting, last week I was having a disagreement with a certain telecoms company that's in Britain, and I just could not get them to see sense that they'd made an error. Mm-hmm. I was getting more and more frustrated, and they were then threatening to put the phone down on me because I was obviously getting very frustrated. So we got to a point where I said, look, if you can check this out for me and give me a call back, and we can at least have some time out and see if we can make this come to a satisfactory conclusion. Put the phone down, I went out for a run, and I'd literally just walked in through the door, finished my run, and the phone rang, and it was, sorry, I nearly said which company. It was that telecoms company again. And of course, I'm sounding out of breath, and she said, are you okay to talk? I said, I am, but my apologies for sounding out of breath. I've just been for a run to try and get rid of my irritation from our previous conversation. The second conversation was brilliant. Yeah. And I'm convinced in part it's that I changed me.
You're in a different frame of mind, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're in a different place. You'd lost all of the frustration and all of the anger, and you were ready to just listen. Yeah.
And I'm pleased to say that particular telecoms company did sort things out and did acknowledge they'd made a mistake. And so things were turned around properly in the end. So phew. Good. Anyway, so the last question I've got for you.
Yeah.
If you had something that you could give to somebody as a bit of advice, that they're having a tough time at the moment and they're probably ready for a lemonade life, what would be your one bit of advice to them?
I think it would be to take it one step at a time and to not try and rush and change everything all at once, because it's never going to happen, and you're only going to set yourself up for failure if you try and suddenly turn everything around. So the way I did it, and the advice that I would give, is to pick one thing at a time. So just pick one thing in your life that's good and that you're grateful for, even if it's a really tiny, small thing, like you've got a great hairstyle or a new pair of shoes, or none of your kids woke you up last night so you slept for more than 3 hours ago. Whatever it is, pick one thing and really concentrate on that one thing and being grateful for it, because I found that the more positive you give out, the more positive you give back. So if you can just start really small and take tiny steps and say, right, okay, well, this is good in my life. The rest of my life might be falling apart around my ears, but there's this one thing that is good.
Yeah.
And then the next day, add another thing to it. So just find one little thing extra every single day that's good in your life and that you can say thank you for and that you can kind of feel has made a difference in your life.
Yeah.
Gradually, you'll see that there's more and more good things, and the bad things will, not seem as negative anymore.
It's interesting you say that. My grandfather was sadly incarcerated in Changi camp during the war.
Right.
And his one thing that he held on to was that he managed to make himself a toothbrush out of a piece of bamboo.
Oh,
so
wow.
That meant every day he was able to clean his teeth and have clean teeth.
Yeah.
On the ship coming home, so when he's being brought back to England, the journalist that he was talking to and being interviewed by stole his toothbrush.
Oh.
And that destroyed him.
Because that was the one thing that he'd held on to. Yeah.
And you think,
and it's funny how little things,
toothbrush,
little things are so important.
Yeah. It signified for him the thing that got him through.
Yeah.
I think it's 4 years of incarceration in what was known as being the worst of all the Japanese prisoner of war camps.
Yeah.
And that one thing taken from him destroyed him.
But why would somebody take that from him? That doesn't make...
Never understood that ourselves.
No,
but
it doesn't make sense.
Yes. But yeah, it's that whole thing of you can keep yourself going through anything if you just find something to hold on to.
One small thing.
Yeah. Fabulous. I love your story. I think you are such an amazing woman. You've been through amazing stuff. So thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you. Before we finish off, I'd just love to give you a chance to tell us a little bit about what you're doing with your business.
Yeah, well, the business that I'm running at the moment is called Social Media Your Way, and it's all about helping other business owners to use social media to grow their business. I'm so passionate about social media. I'd spend all day, every day on it if I could. But I think it's such a great resource for people, and it's so underused. People just think of Facebook and Twitter and chatting to your friends on there, but you can use it to build your business, and you can use it to find your ideal customers and connect with them. And that's what I'm passionate about, is helping people understand it, and also understand that it doesn't have to take over your life. You can just spend 10 or 15 minutes a day, and that's enough to build a following and to build your business.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm really enjoying.
So where can people find you?
My website is www.socialmediayourway.co.uk.
Brilliant. That's fabulous, Kerrie. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us today. And
Thank you.
I wish you continued success in your lemonade life, because I think it sounds absolutely fabulous what you've done for yourself. So you should be really proud of yourself. Well done.
I am.
I feel like I want to high five you. Thanks so much, and I shall look forward to speaking to you again soon. Bye for now.